Good evening, everybody. So as Lori mentioned, I am graduating very soon. To be very specific, by this time, exactly 10 days from now, I will be an alumna of Dearborn. So very excited about that. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I wanted to use this as an opportunity to reflect on all my experiences that I've had here and how they've helped me grow and become the person that I am today. Because believe it or not, the girl who started school here would probably not have been standing here. Which is why we have to start from the very beginning, and you have to learn a little bit of personal things about me. Number one being that I am a rule follower. I do not color outside the lines. I do not jaywalk. I would make an excellent federal government employee. I am so clean. And not only do I do that in my personal life, but that extends into my schoolwork. I do everything to the T. I follow the letter of the law, I make sure my assignments are perfect, and I don't really question anything. This is what I'm supposed to do, this is what I do, it's getting done. Because that's just always how I've been. So I never really questioned any of my experiences, I just kind of let them happen to me. Another important thing you have to know about me is that I'm a homebody. I really like my bedroom. I have it designed so that it is exactly the place I want to be. My mom frequently likes to ask me, are you leaving your bedroom? And I'm like, maybe. But I don't really like to be away from home. I'm very close with my family, my friends, that's where I'm comfortable. So I always kind of had a hard time pushing myself out there and going to new places. For me, that was a terrible idea. I did not want it to happen. I would fight, kick, and screaming. And that is the truth. One thing I did know, though, was that when I was picking colleges, I wasn't ready to move away. I know a lot of my friends are like, oh my God, I can't wait to get away from my parents. This is gonna be awesome. And I was the exact opposite. I was like, I do not wanna go live at a big four-year university. I will do terrible. I would like to stay in the nest a little bit longer. So I looked at only two schools, and that was Wayne State and here Dearborn. And I came to visit campus here, and I fell in love. I loved the people, I loved the atmosphere, and I knew just from day one that this was the place for me. So naturally, my mom, being the involved parent that she is, decided to go to parent orientation. And that is where she learned about the one activity that almost made me not want to come here, and that is the Wolverine Orientation Wilderness Trip. Now, it's a great trip for freshmen, however, it involves camping. And as previously mentioned, I am a homebody. So when I had the word camping brought up, it was kind of a non-starter for me. But also, as mentioned, I'm a rule follower. So I went, and I am so happy that I did. Because when I went to WOW, I learned to put myself out there. I met a great group of friends and began networking and really realized that, hey, this is the place for me. I loved learning about the university. I loved growing and meeting new people and seeing all the things I could do. And for me, this was one of the greatest experiences that I've had here. Well, in this case, it was the greatest experience I'd had so far. Because as time progressed, I continued to grow, and I decided to get a job on campus. Again, because someone had said to me, hey, you'd be really good at this, you should do this. And being the rule follower I am, I was like, yeah, okay, I need a job. This pays, fine. And at first I thought this was just another job, but I learned so much being an orientation leader. The great thing about that is that 90% of your job is public speaking. Not only is it public speaking, but it's to a group of about 30 disgruntled freshmen who don't really want to be there, but they have to be there, and they've got this happy person there who's like, oh my God, this is everything, it's so great, you should listen to everything I say. So I got really good at talking about things when people weren't listening, which can be hard because not everybody listens. But I also learned a lot of really valuable career skills, making sure that I'm on time, that I'm dressed appropriately, that I know how to handle uncomfortable questions and things. And this was just the beginning, because that summer, I ended up back at WOW. Yes, the person who hates camping volunteered to camp again. This time I went as a counselor, and through this experience, I learned how to really be a leader. I was in charge of my own group of freshmen and really helping them get the lay of the land and figure out, okay, this is what you need to do. This is how things work at Dearborn. This is what you can learn. These are helpful tricks and tips. Because when I started, I know that I would not have been as successful without my counselors. And I wanted to push that forward and share it. And I think that I was pretty successful because I was one of Rachel's counselors, and look at how great she is. So I'll just take all that credit. Yeah, you're welcome. You can just applause for me for her too, because, yeah. So yes, wow, what had to go back. But in the meantime, I was also excelling academically. Because I was here and I wanted to do everything that I was supposed to do, I joined a bunch of honor societies. Obviously, I had to have the grades and things to get in. But again, this was one of those things that I felt like, I should do this. I'm here. This is something I need to do. And it really helped me expand my network, learn about a lot of new experiences, and realize that I can start looking for jobs and networking with people now while I'm in school, which is something that I really hadn't considered. But finally, I had the greatest experience of my college life ever. I can say that for sure because nothing will top this. I studied abroad. Because I studied Spanish, I knew from day one that I had to go to abroad. So I spent 6 weeks in Valencia, Spain, and I learned more about myself than I ever thought I would. The first week, I'm not gonna lie, was rough. I missed my bed, I was homesick. As you know, I'm a homebody, and I hated my decision. But I grew from that because yes, I was out of my comfort zone. I learned how to deal with people who I maybe was not the biggest fan of, but knew I'd be spending 6 weeks living in a small room with. I learned how to read a bus map in a different language and be self-sufficient, and that I could do anything because I am strong, and if I put my mind to it, it's going to get done. And this was probably the biggest learning experience I ever had. The great thing about it was that it happened. The bad thing about it was that I had to leave my job in order to go. So when I came back, I was looking for new employment, which is when I found the Talent Gateway. I got an email that said, we're looking for ambassadors, and I read the position. I said, wow, this reminds me a lot of orientation. I'd be really good at this. So I applied, and I met Lori, and I got the job. And I remember thinking when I applied, wow, we're teaching people how to work on their professional skills, how to become that professional person and really see how everything that they're doing connects. And I remember I had this feeling of, I want to help people do that. I know that that's a great skill, and I want to help people with this. But what I didn't realize was that as I was helping people, I would learn so much about my own experiences. Because it wasn't until I sat down and did my own challenges that I actually realized how much I learned from all the experiences I had already mentioned. Because what you do when you participate in the Talent Gateway is these 3 things here listed. You have an experience. It can be good or bad, positive or negative, but you have it. And then you reflect on it, because every experience can be looked at from more than one way. Nothing is ever cut and dry or black and white. There's always some way to take something positive out of it. So for example, one of the challenges, one of my favorite ones was about study abroad. And I talked about, something I experienced with culture shock or a difficulty there, and I had trouble with my roommate. And at first I was like, this is the worst experience. I don't know how I can learn anything from it. But what I actually learned was that I learned how to deal with someone that might make me uncomfortable, which is really beneficial in the workplace because you're not gonna get along with everybody. And then you grow. You learn how to go from this and be a better person from there. And that's really what the Talent Gateway is to me and what I was able to apply it to within my life. And that's just from my personal perspective. From my professional perspective working in the Gateway, I was able to do a lot of really cool things that have helped me grow and be more marketable. I got to design cool marketing pieces like that picture right there. Yeah, that was me. I got to help lead training, hire new people, really see what it takes to make a program grow and the things that actually need to get done, which have given me valuable insights and made me more marketable. But most importantly, my biggest summer task was actually organizing the COP conference, which was a national food pantry conference, statewide food pantry conference that was held here on campus. And I got to be the project manager for that, thanks to Provost Davey, so thank you, and help learn how to do. And that's what really made me think, hey, event planning is what I want. So as I wrap up my time here, I can definitely say that the Talent Gateway has changed how I think about my experiences. Because I went from someone who has done everything because it's what they're supposed to do, to someone who does things, reflects on them, and sees how they can make them better. So going into my graduation, I decided to do something crazy, which was apply to be the student commencement speaker. And I'm so happy I did because I was able to get it. And so I'm using this as my mini practice run. But I probably wouldn't have done that had I not had the experiences I did where I put myself out there and learned to grow. So what I take from the Talent Gateway is that no matter what you're doing, there's always an opportunity to grow, and there's always an opportunity to learn.